Welcome to episode 75 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel, the hottest new lines for the clothing casual. Check out Noah's new latest lines and creations at newstyleapparel.uk. With a full house this evening, the regular season's done, but it's playoff season and cup final time. But we've got a bit of a guest list this evening, and we're still waiting for one to pop in and join us. But we're on Champions podcast number 2 because we're joined this evening by 2 Worthing FC National League South champions and hopefully one more to come. Joe Cook is in my bottom right-hand corner, and on the left-hand side is Brad Delagan. Guys, how are you both?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Very well, thank you.
Jolly good. Great to have you both on, and not looking like you're nursing any signs of a hangover, which like 3 days afterwards I think isn't quite good enough, but you know, there we go.
I've had a few days off getting ready for a big weekend. So.
Yeah, that's certainly it was certainly a big weekend itself as it goes, and we'll get to John Meaney if he comes on. So we'll have to start with you, Joe. 51 starts this year, 8 goals, but none bigger or more crucial than the Thunderbolt on Saturday afternoon.
Thunder Bastard, I called it, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it? I didn't realise I had 51 starts. That's a lot in it, but yeah. Luckily, I've not had any sort of injuries and stuff, so I've just managed to keep playing. And yeah, got some good momentum going the last month with the goals. So yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, it's been the last, I think, few games you popped up with quite a few goals. But I don't think when you strode forward into the Ebbsfleet half on Saturday afternoon that people expected you to score an absolute banger from 18 yards out, being a centre half and not centre forward like Brad.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we kept the ball for quite a bit of time, and then I had the ball like about a minute before, and I heard people saying, "Oh, like shoot." So it was kind of in my mind, like if I got it again, then maybe I would shoot. But I saw Raz sort of inside the box. I played the pass to him, and then when it just like bounced back to me, I just thought, "Oh, I'm just gonna hit it," and then luckily, like obviously, it just flew into the top corner. But yeah. Great feeling, and yeah, just to play a part in winning the game is nice.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, Gaz was there with me. Mike was somewhere in the stadium. We didn't see him in the entire 90 minutes. But what a lot of people don't know, but I did say on the NL Full-Time podcast, was your mum, Nikki, and your girlfriend, Kayla, were standing behind us throughout the entire 90 minutes. And we were having a good chat with them all the way through. And then obviously, when you strode forward, it come back to you and then flew into the back of the net. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but having both of them behind us was just one of those moments that you're never going to recreate again.
No, it was incredible, wasn't it? I got really emotional when the goal went in. I looked round, and your mum and your other half are there, both in tears. And do you know what? It almost brought me to. I showed Trev my arms, genuinely, goosebumps all up my arms. I've been watching Worthing since 2002. I don't know when either of you guys were born.
2004.
So longer than you've been alive, Brad. And when were you, Joe?
99.
Okay, so you were 3. Makes me feel really old. But for me, that was like I was watching Worthing on a Tuesday night when I had like 125 people in the ground, and it was dreadful. So to see that first goal go in, and then obviously when Raz got it as well, it was yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, no, it was made special, obviously, standing with your mum, obviously, and your other half, because obviously they followed your journey the whole way through. Your mum especially, like, she genuinely, like,
yeah,
she was full of tears, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, my dad, you know, when I scored against the Eastbourne last minute, he was crying as well. I think I just must have an emotional family. But yeah, like I think it just obviously them seeing me do well is obviously really special for them. So yeah, yeah, just lucky to have people like that around me, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question, Joe, as well. Was like, obviously, that's what a lot of people don't see is the time and effort that parents have to put in to get the kids to games, to grounds, to trials and everything. And obviously, you starting at Sheffield Wednesday and then to Bournemouth. And obviously, you had a spell up at Chesterfield as well. And I did ask your mum about that, as well. And that, whether she went up to watch you and stuff like that. But it's that kind of thing that people don't get to see that often.
Yeah. So, obviously spent time living away from home. I was actually with Kayla, my girlfriend, when I was in Chesterfield as well. So obviously she's sort of been, I've been with her like 6 years, so near enough the whole time I've been playing like senior football. She's been sort of on that journey with me. And yeah, obviously it's always tough, like moving away from home. Obviously I had time at Gateshead as well. So yeah, obviously they haven't always been able to come watch my games, but I guess the fact that they were able to watch it and it was such a big moment, and obviously knowing that we needed to win to guarantee that we would win the league, it was obviously a special moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brad, top scorer in a championship season, is kind of the stuff of dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I could have, when I signed in the summer, yeah, I don't think there's many other possibilities. I would have been better than that when I signed.
No, absolutely not. And you had a bit of a spell out with injury as well, didn't you, part of the way through the season?
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously in that point, Hinch has gone out and signed, I think, about 3, 4, 5 strikers, which obviously says a lot about having to, manage to replace you. But how did you sort of see that from where you were thinking, I might be the top scorer, but am I actually going to get back in because I've now got 4 or 5 for competition?
Yeah, it was a tough moment for me, actually, because the injury wasn't too severe, but it wasn't good enough for me to be able to be playing on it. And I personally didn't feel too comfortable playing on it. And it was getting better, and then it would sort of plateau for a bit. And I managed to end up just playing with it quite heavily strapped for the rest of the season and taking quite a bit of painkillers to get me through. But yeah, so I was, first time I, touch wood, being injured like that, been quite fortunate. So I've only ever had a concussion really that's ever set me back during the season. But yeah, when they sign like top players, like whilst I'm out injured, yeah, it's not the best of feelings, but it's also a bit of a compliment as well, which is how I was trying to take it. But yeah, it was a tough period, yeah.
Yeah, I can well imagine as well. But you got back just in time to, to join in the final running bit as well. Obviously, Joe took a bit of shine off on the weekend with the goal he scored, and Raz's strike wasn't too shabby either.
No, wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was 2 good goals as well, and yeah, Cookie's goal especially. I love it when I see Cook score. So,
Cheers, mate.
He's about halfway up the scoring charts this year as well, isn't he? Mike?
Obviously a few times.
Go on, Joe.
Lads,
Go on, Joe.
how are we? First and foremost, what an effing day Saturday. I'll tell you what, got to the ground, weird these 12:30 kickoffs. You can't really go for a beer before and everything like that.
Yeah,
my old dear, she lives in Gatesford Road, just round the corner from Woodside, right? She was already in the bar having it. She was a state by the end of the day, I tell you. And she's in her 60s now, the old girl. She has never seen anything like it. She was there in the dark days, near enough 2013, 2014, when the club nearly went out of business and that until George came along. What Gareth was saying, when there was 100 people turning up. I turned up at that ground on Saturday, and it didn't seem like there was nerves at all from the players. The nerves were in and around the ground. Everyone thinking, is it going to be another one of those years? And then when you put that thunderfucker away, mate, that was it. Beers in the air. Everyone was there. Everyone was saying, don't jump on the pitch. Don't invade the pitch. Everyone's singing the Barry song. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. And, but lads, what you've achieved there in one day, I know for a whole season, but the way you made that town smile, buzzing, it reminded me like a World Cup moment when you're in England, you know, when you're in there, it was one of those days. And seeing all you lot come down, jumping around with the fans in the thieves, in all that, in all around the town, you know, making yourself human. My son, he had his top off. He was in the stand behind the newsstand with those little youths, you know, chucking their tops off in there and everything like that. You know, you lot are like superstars to him. Do you know what I mean? You really are. And he's actually watching this upstairs now because Brad, you're his favourite player, by the way, mate. You know,
Get him to come down. Get him
Yeah.
to come down. Go and get him.
he won't. He won't.
Come on.
I'll get him to quickly.
Come on.
I'll tell him. I'll message him now. But what you've done there, lads, was incredible. It really was. Now, one thing I must point out: these boys there owe you an apology. Because who was the guy that said all along that Worthing are going up straight up? Who backed them even when they had their little rocky patch and you lot writ them off? Go on, give these lads an apology now. Give them
I'll hold my hands up. I'll hold my hands up because when I generally thought when Hinch come back, I wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't sure if it was just for not for him for publicity, or whether it was gonna happen or what. And I hold my hands up. As I said at the time, I've been going a long time. I've got a right to an opinion. I'm so happy that it did work out. But I'll apologise for saying it at the time.
Come here, come on, get in there. There's your favourite player, Sam. Brad and Joe.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, he was one of those naughty youths in there with the old tops off and that. You know, he loves it. You know,
Hope you weren't staying off the pyro.
Yeah, no, that weren't him. That might have been me, to be fair.
Was that you with your arse out up in the behind the goal?
That was brilliant. But on behalf of someone that's lived in Worthing my whole life, yeah, literally grew up, went all the schools there and everything, still live here today. I want to say thank you to you lads for giving us that moment that town needed. With all the shit going on in the world and everything like that, we needed something, a little buzz up just before the World Cup, and you lads provided it. So, lads, thank you ever so much, and go and do us proud next season up there.
Cheers, mate. I think that's obviously what makes it even more special with how many, or sort of how happy it made everyone else, as well as obviously us as players. Like, we celebrated and we wanted to obviously win as much as anyone else, but when you have that many people that are all there with you, it just makes it obviously like such a special moment. Like, obviously one that speak for myself, I speak for the rest of the lads as well, that like won't like forget, because like, as long as you play and even after that. But, yeah.
And let's not forget 4,002 people in a National League South game.
That's
You're
great.
going to need a bigger building soon, lads.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm going to start with you. Do you know how many goals you got this season?
Was that talking to me, though?
Yeah. Do you know how many goals you got this season?
8, I believe, all competitions.
Oh, you got 7 in the National League South.
Yeah.
Right. One more goal than former England striker Andy Carroll. Right. And 1 goal less than Jason Pryor, who's obviously been known as a prolific goal scorer in the past at centre back. Hats off. But before I move over to old golden boot over there, when that ball left your foot on Saturday, did you know straight away?
I knew that I'd hit it well. I didn't know it was gonna obviously fly in, but because it was sort of just inside the box, it weren't really much time for it. Actually, like I said, when it came back, I thought, "Oh, this is like sitting really nicely. I'm gonna hit it on the half volley," and I don't think I caught it any sweeter. And then, like before I know it, it's literally just in the back of the net, and I'm running off, celebrate.
Yeah, no, mate. I genuinely, I said it before. I've only just got my voice back after 4 days. Is it? What day are we on? Wednesday night.
Yeah, 4 days.
5 days, and I genuinely just got. My wife was like, "You're never going to football again." You go. These boys will tell you. I go to football and I do not drink. I don't drink at the football. I go, I enjoy it, and then I go. Do you? But even I was on the beer, and I pied off a 60th birthday party to come to that game on Saturday, and then had to leave. Really wish that I could have come to the party afterwards, but I think I genuinely would have been even more in the doghouse if I hadn't. Joe, any personal moments this season where you thought, yeah, we're going up, or was it game by game?
It was a bit of a roller coaster, to be fair. You never really know. Like, you always think. I always thought from pre-season, I thought we've got a chance to get promoted. Just with the we had in the building. But when obviously we beat Dorking away, then it's sort of like if we had lost that game, I think we all knew that it's going to be tough from here. There's going to have to be a lot of stuff that goes our way for us to win the league. So I think when we won that game, we sort of getting over the top or two ahead of ourselves. We thought, yeah, we're right in this. And if we win our games, then we've won them, basically.
Yeah. No.
Probably after that game.
Same for you, Brad, or?
I think the first time I thought, well, we've got a chance is like, and I actually backed us, was Dorking at home. When we beat them 3-2, like I thought, wow, this is it. And then chipping them sort of was a massive reality check. I think the Dorking at home game, I've never come away from a game thinking like this team is just like unbelievable. And like if anything we could like imagine we can like achieve, like I think we could do it. But yeah, and then obviously Dorking away, like I think everyone knew that like, look, if we play like that for the rest of the season, like we're gonna go up because we were brilliant that day.
Yeah. Right, Brad, you got 23 goals this season in the league. Be honest, how many goals should you actually have this season?
Well, I didn't take penalties all year, so probably about 26, including pens. Couple missed chances. I think, like 30, but I mean, I'm happy with 23. It could have been more, but from what I've seen and a lot of the stats I look at, you look at like the top forwards like Kane, he misses about 20 big chances a season. So, and that was when he was in his prime in the Premier League. So, I don't think I missed that many big chances as Kane in the Prem. But he did score a lot more than me. But I'm happy with 23. My first full year in like senior football, so it wasn't a bad one.
Particularly when you're not on pens.
Yeah, and I was actually winning quite a few, and not being able to put the ball on the spot myself, which was quite frustrating. But got to stick to what has been set out by the coaching staff, which was Spongy on penalties. But yeah.
One of them coaching staff has joined us now, haven't they?
Yeah.
The legend, Mino.
Finally.
How are you, John? All right?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Jolly good. Just before we come to Chris and that, I've got a few bits for you to get on with. How did you sort of like find it coming in early in the season, but having to build a squad to kind of move up the table? Because most managers and coaches used to go in, get your pre-season, get your players in, and then bang, off you go.
To be honest, quite easy. I knew what I was coming into. You always do your due diligence, but I knew quite a lot of the group. Also, credit to the previous management regarding the foundations that they had put in place, and ultimately the boys at Worthing were one of the main pulling powers why I wanted to get straight back on the grass instead of having 5-6 months off after leaving my previous club. I backed what Hinch and I could do once we got to work with the group, and building the momentum and building confidence in what we wanted to do within our principles of play. We knew that it would suit the player profile, and once we got some results on the board, we believe that they could fly.
Absolutely. And you're very well respected coach across Sussex, from me as well. And that, where does this rank on your wall of honour?
Oh, it's completely up there, you know. Like, this is going to be the top one. At the end of the day, like going back to Worthing Football Club, where I've had some great past experiences and promotions, and seeing the club grow, seeing like the fan base. But like I say, it's a special group. The moment I walk through that door, I'm sure the boys will say it as well. I've backed them from day one. We've backed them from day one. It's a top group with the togetherness is the main quality of the group, for all the skill sets that we see on show on the pitch. The social chemistry and the togetherness of the group. They drove each other on and they found the extra gears, and it's been the best group that I've ever worked with regarding what I see Monday to Friday. I remember one of my previous pre-matches and stuff like that with the interviews earlier in the season. They trained like absolute troopers Monday to Friday. So it's no coincidence that they've gone to win a league title, for all the inconsistencies of other teams and our little spell where we dropped off in the new year for a period. Everyone has setbacks. It's how you respond, and the togetherness of the boys with all the rest of the support staff around them. It's no coincidence that they've gone on to claim a league title, and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask as well: has Joe Cook got that shot in his locker in training sessions, or is he just a one-hit wonder in big games?
No, he's quality. The lad's quality, and I think he'd be the first to tell you that I'm always on to him about his defending, because for me, like, his strength on the ball, his quality on the ball, the way that he takes the ball under pressure, brings the ball out from the back in the build-up phase and breaks lines with passes and dribbles, is a different way that we can unlock the opposition. So obviously we always want to encourage that. That's part of our identity. It's one of his many strengths, but I'm always banging on to him about if he can get his defensive side of his game right, regarding his positioning, his angles, his distances, his first contacts, his body shape, his footwork, and so forth, and many other aspects of defending, he can really go on in the game, because ultimately the super strength looks after itself. Being a top defender gets you high up the levels as well.
I love this insight. It's great. Right, I've got a request here, and when I give you what it is, you're probably going to know the story anyway. Where's the strangest place you've had discussions with a manager regarding tactics and team training sessions?
Strangest place. I'll tell you a story from many years ago. It was the season my first year in management at Worthing. We got battered at home to 3 Bridges. We got beat up. It was like the first year management, and I remember myself, and at the time, so I was doing it on a joint basis with Gary Elphick, and Gaz was playing, but our assistant Matt Piper, literally, we got in his car and we drove to near the Mulberry in Goring Road. Yeah, and they've literally got a Domino's. They got a Domino's pizza there. We smashed 2 large Domino pizzas with wedges, and we just said to each other, "What the f are we doing?" Getting into management. It was one of those. I remember a fan literally chucked his season ticket at us as we were walking off after being beaten to 3 Bridges, and it was like a rude awakening. And we had a discussion outside Domino's, and God knows to what time. So yeah, that one that springs to my mind. And then obviously, we went on and got promoted that year and lost in the Sussex Senior Cup semi-final. So it wasn't a bad year.
Listen to this one, because this is what I got given. Right, this person went up to Liverpool with you and your father-in-law to watch an evening game when you were working on something when you were with Crawley. We went out after the game and had a few. In the morning, his boss phoned up and he had to take the call in the toilet of the hotel room with me and his father-in-law giving him stick from outside. It was great listening to him trying to be sensible.
Yeah, I remember that one. Do you know what? That was Liverpool v Napoli in the Champions League. My father-in-law, Martin Gander, so I appreciate that, Martin Gander. And yeah, I was on the bog talking to Gabriella Cioffi, and we were talking all things Crawley Town regarding training. Yeah,
brilliant. Right, Chris, let's wow with a few stats.
Well, I'll do as best, but I'm a bit light prepped today because I knew that this would be a fan-heavy discussion, as it should be, because you've won not to put it in too fine a point on it, you've won the bloody league, lads. So congratulations on that. As you said, Joe, it's been a roller coaster season. You were 16th when the managerial change happened, and then you went on an unbelievable run, winning 12 out of 13, I think. And then obviously, as you said, John, there was that wobble just after the new year. And since then, again, you've just been straight back on it. You've got 2 gears, one of them just being go, and that's the one you're predominantly in. So I'm not, 4-7, by the way. What a way to end the season, Joe.
I know, yeah. I think I found, obviously, my scoring boots at the right time.
To get you over the line. Fair enough. Yeah. So, yeah, just congratulations on a brilliant season. By far the best attack in the league, 99 goals, which is not bad. In a league, by the way, where average goals per game is really quite low. So to get 99 in, like I said, it's like 8. Is it like 17 clear of your next best or something? It's something like that. Oh, no, maybe 12, sorry. Forgot Torquay went on a bit of a run. So, brilliant for you. What does next season hold then? Where are you looking forward to going next season?
I'll let the boys answer.
All the big grounds really. Southend away, Hartlepool away. See who comes down from League Two. Could be a little derby in there. That would be a big game. And yeah, just playing all these big clubs, a lot of history. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I'll just say like testing yourself against the best of non-league really. I had a stint last year, didn't really get too much playing time, but was able to watch a lot of it, and I was just so eager to go out there and sort of just try and gauge the level and prove myself at that level, and I think it'll be a fantastic opportunity next year to do that.
Excellent. Mino, how are you, buddy?
Hello, mate. You good?
Yeah, mate. Listen, last time I saw you, 2 days before the Eastbourne game, chewing your ear off till 11:30 at night at Culver Road, and you told me exactly how the Eastbourne game was going to go. It was going to be tight, and you're going to win at the end. And you were 110% sure you were going to go and win at Dorking. There was a couple of people looking around thinking, he's got to say that in public, but you fucking meant it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you literally you come through and that. And so I'm going to call you the prophet now, mate. You know what I mean? And as a local lad, what does it feel like?
Oh, it's amazing. But there was many reasons why I returned to the club, and for all the sentiment, it was to get the job done this year. This was the year we had to really grasp it and embrace it. I'm absolutely was very emotional at the end of the game. As soon as I shook hands with Josh Wright and the staff of Ebbsfleet, straight over to George Dale. What he had a dream, found himself in the situation that he did, and as much as the dreams come alive, he needed Worthing, and Worthing needed him, and without him, and this wouldn't have been possible. And I had to say thank you to him, and that we made the dream a reality, because in his first year of ownership, he appointed me as co-manager with Gary Elphick. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. No one else would have taken a chance on a 24-year-old lad to be manager of a club of that stature at that time. No one else would. you know what I mean? So I owe a lot to George, not just obviously giving me the opportunity at Worthing all those years ago, but it also helped shape me to be the individual that I am today on and off the pitch, with all the other experiences that I've been fortunate to have within my coaching journey. But I remember the playoff final against Faversham all those years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I think it was 2000 on that day.
Yeah.
But now see it 10 years later, that we've broken the record. The lads have broken the record 4 times in one season since we've been back. And to see 4002, I don't know where they get the 2 from. I'm classing that as my wife and my son, probably. But to see 4,000 on that pitch at the end of the game, and everyone celebrating, that's what Worthing as a town is all about. When you look at the population, it's not little old Worthing anymore.
No,
you know what I mean? So to see that, and not just what it's done, all the volunteers at the club, the supporters, the staff on and off the pitch, the players, people that are no longer with us that have served the club brilliantly and are watching from up above. It's so powerful and so emotional. And I think moving forward now, the whole town and the club, we need to embrace this new chapter and this new opportunity
100%
within our journey, and everyone get behind it in the right way, and let's try and kick on and be sustainable and competitive at the next level while being true to what we stand for. So yeah, it means a great deal.
Yeah, so for me personally, as I know you, mate, made up for you, made up for your family, did the town proud, you know, fucking well done, lads.
I appreciate it. Top man. Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, John, you just mentioned about the people that aren't there. Me and Trev both knew Pete Vale very well. I just, do you know, one thing I would miss was listening to his commentary when that ball left Joe's foot on Saturday, and then Raz stuck that second goal in. You got the iconic Cashman against in Maidstone, was it?
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, like he would have been absolutely buzzing on Saturday. He'd have been running around with his little microphone, trying to interview everyone.
High vis as well.
Yeah, and his high vis. We both, I think, actually credit to him. I think Mark White from Dorking actually put out a tweet and sort of said, "Look, shout out to Worthing, congratulations. Pete would have been really proud," which is great because he was a good guy, Pete. But like you say, I was at that Faversham final.
Me too.
And I said to the guys here, I was with Trev, and like similar to Mike, I'm a Worthing guy, born and bred.
So was I, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
How old were you, Brad?
about
He's
5.
in the pram, wasn't he?
Like 10, 11.
10, 11. Wow.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, I've been watching Worthing longer than Brad's been alive. Like, my first game at Worthing was Alan Pook was in charge. I think it was about 2001, 2002. So to see them now, obviously 4002 is absolutely incredible. So thank you. I kind of, and I owe you an apology, and I'll say it, I'll front it up. When you and Hinch came back, I wasn't 100% convinced it was going to work.
Thank you.
I'll own up to it. And I've always said that if I'm proved wrong, I want to be proved wrong, and I said I want to be proved wrong. I'll apologise. I said it out there. I wasn't 100% sure. So you don't often see people going back to a club and it always working out 100%. I'm glad it has worked out because I had a fucking cracking day on Saturday. But yeah, I apologise. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologise, and I'll let you into a little secret.
Yeah.
I always said that I wouldn't return to Worthing.
Yeah.
In a capacity. But like I say, it was, you know, sometimes, look, even I like to be wrong. Sometimes you get a feeling, and it's not. This isn't all the hindsight bullshit. You know, I'm as honest as they come.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. You know, I could have gone elsewhere, and I had a feeling about the club, but I had a real feeling about this group of players. and sometimes you got to go with it, and you got to go to work with it, and and even like I say, Hinch and I working together again, two previous managers. You know, sometimes you never know how things are going to shape up, but we just went to work and did what we like doing, improving players, improving the team, and working on that pitch.
Yeah, no, it was great. And I even last week, and I didn't mean it, and I said it to get clicks, but also a little bit of self-preservation. I went, Hornchurch are going to win the league, just purely for a little bit of self-preservation. And I'm so glad I was wrong. I'll hold my hands up every time I'm wrong. But no, thank you for the not just you three that have come on, but thanks to everyone at Worthing Football Club, because you almost put Worthing on the map a little bit. George has done that with what he's done behind the scenes and the guys behind the scenes, but it needed you guys to. This season, it needed to happen. Obviously, after disappointment the last couple of years, this season it needed to happen. It's happened. I'm buzzing for an Altrincham away next season. My family are all from Manchester, so I'm buzzing for an Alty away next season.
Brilliant.
And can we send the geezer who was on the roof with a flare of beer, please? What a legend he was, getting that airy arsehole out as well to everyone. I thought, what? That was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good to see everyone buzzing in the Thieves' Kitchen all around town. I mean, we were, I think you'd left the Towering Club means, but Hinch and Cam, like, we're walking down the middle of the road from the Towering Club into the middle of Worthing was just like absolutely nuts and everything. But to see everyone tooting horns and stuff like that was like really, really, really great to see. And having, I think, a club in the National League again, Sussex has been lacking that since, I think, Eastbourne Borough dropped out of there. So it's been a while coming, and gives Chris another league to keep an eye on as well. So that's one of those things. Right, one last thing, guys, and to each of you, who do you want to come up through the playoffs?
Oh,
I'll probably say Torquay, just because it's a nice ground to play at. 3,000-4,000 people in there. So it's an away game that I always look forward to when I play there. So I'd say Torquay.
Okay, Brad?
I think Maidenhead are going to do it. I don't know what the score is currently.
They're getting beat 2-0, mate, so you've made better predictions.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't think that anymore. But genuinely, I don't. I mean, probably Torquay because it's a nice ground, but genuinely, I don't really particularly like have any sort of interest or who goes up. Torquay because it's a nice ground, but I particularly don't like the Torquay fans. Didn't like Hemmel's pitch, and Weston was a bit of a trek. And Maidenhead's got a bit of a slopey pitch, and I didn't really like that one either. So I'm not really too fussed in it. Torquay
and a running track doesn't belong around a football pitch.
Yeah, I don't really like Hornchurch either, to be honest. So,
John?
Torquay for me, bit of a traditionalist. You know, love the stadium, love the feel, love the pitch. Don't mind the squad of players that they got. They got there, and obviously the fan base. So for me, it's another football league club, and I think it obviously just promotes the National League, the non-league platforms even further. That National League is pretty much a football league too, in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely is. I meant to say on the away days as well. I know Pete Stone are planning an away day as well, so I'm going to push for Fylde so we can have a weekend in Blackpool, which will be utterly good unless it's in the middle of November, at which point we'll be going somewhere else.
Very cold up there.
Yeah, very, very. Guys, thank you very much for giving up your time this evening to join us. Congratulations once again from all of us. Enjoy your next few days in Marbella, the pair of you. And really appreciate you all giving up your time this evening.
No worries.
Did the town proud, lads. Cheers.
Pride of Sussex, lads.
Yeah.
Pride of Sussex.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Top guy.
Bye.
Absolute legends.
No.
I may have absolutely two-footed Brad there. Sorry.
It is though. There was a good feel good vibe all day around the town, all evening. The next day, everyone's reaching for the Alka-Seltzer. People are still chatting shit in kitchens. Ridiculous time in the morning. You know what I mean? What a way to end the season.
And I'll tell you what, I just want to touch quickly on one thing John Meany said, which was about, you know, he paid tribute to Aggie and the team there on the state he found everything in. How often do you hear managers come into a job mid-season and have a pop and say the players aren't fit enough? It's just one of the go-tos, isn't it? It's just something they say to give themselves a bit of leeway. Now, admittedly, they won 12 out of 13. Again, to kick off, which isn't a bad start, so there's no real need to do it. But
that's meaning. But that's the class of the guy.
Yeah, you know? I mean, that's a cracking start as well with a squad that you haven't had chance to work with. So just great work all round Worthing FC.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Everything from their strength and conditioning coaches and nutritionists, everything. You know, the investors, the people on the board. You know, they were taking a lot of criticism over the last few months, rightly and wrongly sometimes. But at the end of the day, they got the job done. You know, at one stage, everyone thought Dorking had run away with it. Now it looks like obviously Dorking a couple up now and that. But I'm just made up. I'm made up for it. And let's not forget, I stuck with them all year.
Well, mate,
we come to what you stuck with all year a bit later and got that one wrong. But anyway,
yeah, I noticed you didn't apologise, though, Trev. I noticed you didn't apologise. I noticed you didn't apologise.
I had him in 8th. It was down on my Twitter. Everyone can go and read that. Simple as.
Let's go. Come on.
Those of you listening on the podcast on Thursday, you've got a couple of extra bonus bits coming now with one interview with Sam Beard and the other with Adam Hinchelwood. Right, let's crack on with the rest of the show. We'll start this evening with last Wednesday's Sussex RUR Cup final, which was the first time the four of us were ever at the same game, and probably the last
just
time.
Quickly before we move on, and we'll get onto this. I did the draw for the World Cup football the other day, and it's not been claimed. So before the end of the pod tonight, can I do it live?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just need to figure out how to share my screen. Yeah,
we sorted it out. We'll sort it out in the shout outs.
Superb.
I just don't know how to share my screen and do it on there. I'll figure it out. Sorry.
Probably that big screen button at the bottom with a plus.
It says present or invite.
Yeah,
that'll be it. Okay. That's fine. Don't worry. We'll do it. We'll do it in a bit. I'll take out the person that won it. Anyway, Trev, you may continue.
Thank you very much, sir. Right, yes, the Sussex RUR Cup final last Wednesday. All four of us were there, and it was.
Were we?
Well, three of us.
Four of us there.
The fourth one disappeared. He was there to start with before Chris turned up. It's almost as if like one arrived and one disappeared. But,
I saw Mike for about 3 seconds, and I had food in both hands. So
yeah,
that was it. A bit of a who's who of management teams watching, I think. Really enjoying actually not having the stress of their own teams playing as well as whatnot, having a bit of a night off as well. But as we kind of expected, Haywards Heath quality shone through. Although Worthing United had a really good first 10 or 15 minutes, if they could have put the ball in the back of the net, we might have had a little bit of a game on. But did show the difference in class between the top of the Premier Division and Division 1. As you said, Mike, it was a free hit for Worthing United, which it was. They didn't disgrace themselves.
No, you're right there, Trev. They didn't. And first of all, foremost, it was a free hit. Yeah. Look, the bookies would have had, 5-1 on that Haywards Heath are winning that. And it was 7 minutes of pure class, wasn't it? Where they put 3 together. They didn't disgrace themselves at all. I actually think, I'll be honest, I think they played better in that game than they did in what we'll get onto later, the playoff game last night. Which is probably disappointing for their gaffers and their supporters and that. But that was one Haywards Heath had to win. There's been a lot of talk about how they went 16-17 on the bounce, cruising. buzzing in the FA Vars until AFC Stoneham got there, who were actually in the final as well. You know, then obviously Stenning come in and rightfully took that league, so they had to win that. You know, and I reckon Hayward Heath probably played at 80% of their capacity there. They really did. You know, so go for Worthing United. You know, they never got to an RUR final before in their history. A club that I played at for many years, a club that I captained in the first team as well. You know, 18 years old. Whoever made that decision was an idiot. So, yeah, but yeah, you know, good game. Good to have us all together. Even though as soon as the bar opened, I left you, didn't I?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, I had to see that. Thank you to Sussex FA for their wonderful hospitality. Big love from there, you guys. Sticking us in the room with the old tea and biscuits and the coffees and that. You know, I thought we were being stopped at the door when they didn't let us in that way. I thought they weren't letting us in, but they moved to the other side. So thank you to the Sussex FA. Truly appreciate that. But yeah, congrats to Hayward Heath. But they got the job done. And had they not got it done, questions would have been asked.
Absolutely. If you guys want to add anything else in?
No, the burger was better, though. Lee said, poor son having food from Lancing. The burger was actually better.
I'll agree with that.
It looked better. I decided that I'm not going to put the remark in there because it ain't going to make much of a difference. It gained an extra point because actually, do you know what? It was better, and I ate it. Stay tuned for another burger later.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Oh. Wow, you've whet my appetite for that now.
Gareth ate half a cow last night.
The question is did he spill his chips again?
Didn't get chips
because you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. They were in mortal danger.
I couldn't carry them, to be fair. I was too busy shaking hands because, again, it was a who's who of management last night.
Didn't it?
So.
Yeah,
everyone was about last night, wasn't they?
Chris and I the same, so we'll get to those a bit later. Right, let's start cracking on with last weekend. And in the National League South, Eastbourne Borough finished with a 3-1 win at Chelmsford City. Horsham beat Chippenham by 3-2, and Worthing's 2-0 win against Ebbsfleet United promoted them to the National League as the champions. This evening, Eastbourne Borough are in Sussex Senior Cup semi-final action against Brighton Hove Albion under-21s, and currently they are a goal behind and I think a man behind.
Yep. Yes, on both counts.
On both counts.
It's not going to be a great end to the season for them, is it?
Not really. Horsham's win on Saturday, all of their starting 11 featured over 100 appearances for each players, which
wow.
Shows how long-standing it is. But I have a feeling there might be a few changes over the summer and maybe an adaptation of style.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and it just shows the Dom's consistency, isn't it, with how he wants his set out. But I think you're right. If they got a kick on again, make a little change.
What I will just say for Horsham though, 6th best defence in the league.
Brilliant.
In their debut season at Step 2 is phenomenal, and everyone should be congratulated on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eastbourne Borough, not the greatest season for them, but signing off for a win at Chelmsford is not a bad way to finish up.
No, I mean I obviously know that Chelmsford, there was a managerial change in the week, wasn't there, in the week preceding that game, and I don't know whether that potentially played into it because obviously the Clarets promotion hopes died the week before. So yeah, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and they won. And to be fair to Borough as well, I know there's been a lot of speculation about obviously their contracts ended at 3:00 on Saturday, and they've got this game tonight. The side they've played tonight is actually quite strong.
Strong, isn't it? I've seen it. Yeah.
So fair play to the players for sticking around for that, because they're obviously it's not completely risk free for them. So fair enough.
Absolutely. Right, into the Isthmian Premier Division, and the results on Saturday. Chester City finished with a 2-2 draw at Brentwood Town. Burgess Hill Town beat Cray Wanderers by 4-2. Lewis went down 2-1 at Chatham, and Whitehawk finished with a 1-1 draw against Potters Bar. We're not going to dwell too much on the Isthmian Prem, because we'll cover a lot of these in our review shows as well. Right, into the Isthmian South East Division, and the results on Saturday. Hassocks went down 3-2 at Ashford United. Crowborough Athletic beat Mersham by 5-2. East Grinstead Town lost 3-1 at home to Margate. Eastbourne Town and Sevenoaks Town drew 2 each. Broadbridge Heath lost 1-0 at Erith Town. Champions Three Bridges drew 2-2 at Faversham Town, and Hastings United went down 3-0 at Jersey Bulls.
One thing, Trey, I'm pleased to hear that the Simo at Broadbridge Heath is staying on. Do you know what I mean?
For another season,
I feel it's really underrated what he does for that club and how much he works behind the scenes on what they have resources-wise. So, yeah, I'm made up for him in that.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Hassocks finished inside the relegation zone, are heading back to the Southern Combination Premier Division. But at 2 stages on Saturday, Chris, they were 1-up and 2-1 up and heading for safety.
I know. I was avidly checking my phone every few minutes, trying to keep in touch with it. It's obviously a shame. Very well run club. Obviously we've spoken many times about the job that everybody does there. Ultimately, it was that run of 15 games without a win that's kind of done for them, really. I mean, their defence was pretty decent in the round, but I think only one team scored fewer than they did, and I think that's kind of what's put pay to their stay at step 4 for the time being.
Yeah, I think maybe the frustrating thing as well that if they'd have won, they would have stayed up on goal difference.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, I look back to after that run, they had them 2 wins, and I think it was Sheppey away and Erith at home. They battered Erith 3-0, and I think we were all like, "Yeah, come on, it's on now." I mean, they lost at home to Beckenham, who obviously got relegated as well.
I was at the Hastings game when they won.
Oh, their form at the end of the season has been really, really, really strong. And I think if the season had been maybe a week longer and they had another game at the Beacon, I think maybe. But games after 42 seasons, isn't it? Seasons after 42 games, though, isn't it?
Is it confirmed they'll be down in the SFL again then, yeah, Trev?
Yeah, I can't imagine they go anywhere else. They're not really in a position. But I mean, potentially they could end up in the combined counties. Because they're not too far from Surrey in terms of where the M23 can get them off to, but I wouldn't have thought
when
so.
will they find that out?
It won't be till after all the playoffs are decided and then all the ground grading's been chucked in and then everyone else who's put in for voluntary relegation's decided whether they get theirs or not, and then everyone will have a shunt around and then there'll be, we've got a mismatch here and a mismatch over there. So it won't be for a few weeks yet. Not probably I wouldn't imagine until after non-league finals day, but it'd be before the end of May.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, if they do come down the SCFL Prem, hell of a league, and no one's going to play them.
No, it's going to be cracking next year, isn't it? Yeah, it's cracking.
Just before we move on, Crowborough best ever season at step 4. Said it before, but should say it again. Great season for them. Top half finish for Eastbourne Town. Nobody had that on the bingo card, not even me.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to talk about that. That's your best ever season, isn't it?
No, the 94th minute equaliser we conceded means it's not quite, which is a bit annoying.
But Jude's done a credible job, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, we're so lucky to have Jude McDonald at the club. We really are. The job he's done. I mean, I said to Grant Hearn last night we bumped into, like, we had a bit of a sliding doors moment against East Grinstead at Christmas. They had a goal disallowed wrongly for offside. And I think if that had just gone in and we hadn't have turned it round that day, we might have been in trouble. But since then, we've been brilliant. I think we'd be 10th since then. So, not a king. We don't pay a king's ransom at Town either. So, no, brilliant season. Incredibly proud.
You have to get there next season. Get to your manor. Come over there. Have a look. Have a day with a stat man.
Chucking something in, Gaz, or not? You're looking at your screen now. I'm like, is he looking at
I've got the Borough versus Brighton game on. It's all Borough.
Is it?
Really? It don't matter. Anyway, 3 Bridges are winning.
Keeper's just made a great save for Brighton. My supporting the 17 backwards cap. It's all Borough at the moment. Sorry, I haven't got anything to chip into that. When we do our review shows, I'll make sure I'm prepared.
Good lad. Right, let's get into the Isthmian South Central Division. And last Tuesday, Littlehampton went down 1-0 at home to Hazen United, obviously, as we were recording. On Saturday, Bognor Regis Town finished unbeaten under Danny Hollands with another win, 3-0 at home to Binfield. And Littlehampton Town won 4-0 at already relegated Horndean. Now, as it stands at the moment, Littlehampton are relegated potentially to the Southern Combination Premier Division, but they are also top of the points per game ratio for getting a reprieve to replace Widnes, who are 1,500 million miles away and have no relevance to the Isthmian South Central or the Southern Combination Premier. Now, I'm not a fan of reprieves, not because I don't want Littlehampton to stay up, because I do. I'd love them to, but any club that finishes in a relegation zone finishes in the relegation zone for a reason. They've had a bad season for whatever reason and deserve to go down. So instead of reprieving, there should be plenty of time to, even if you need to have a playoff besides underneath, to be able to shift up to make the numbers up. And the fact that they'll get a reprieve for a side that's well up in the northwest just doesn't make any sense.
Well, Trev, I have words from the horse's mouth, Mitch and Littlehampton manager, regarding reprieves. All right, here's his view. He effing hates them. He thinks they shouldn't be deserved. He thinks Littlehampton shouldn't get one at all. And that he thinks exactly what you said. If you finish in the bottom there, you should be relegated. He also is licking his lips together about potentially going down there and having a successful season back in that SCFL. Like they did. Don't forget, last time they were mincing about there, they won like the treble, didn't they?
Won the treble, yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon he'll be going, I don't want that reprieve. And it's something like 0.05 of a point per game, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah. It's not much. Yeah.
And Widnes, that's up near Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah. Liverpool way.
Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, like, how is that? How is Littlehampton going to get a reprieve?
Exactly.
Don't make sense, does it?
It does not.
Reprieves don't work. Look at Copthorne.
Yeah.
They got battered 20-0 at the weekend. They did.
We don't mention that. It's not very fair.
No.
I do.
Are you not going to read that scoreline out in a minute then? Are you going to read all the other scorelines out and just not read that one?
I'll do exactly the same as Selzy tweeted because it was classy.
No, I won't. 20-0. They got battered. One of their strikers got 8 goals and it moved in from about 15th in the Golden Boot up to 3rd. I'll say it. Nobody else will say it.
But anyway, reprieves don't do any good because it's wasted a whole year for them. Potentially, they may cease to exist next year because they've had so many issues and problems. Whereas if they'd have been one level lower, they probably may have finished mid-table. They'd have been sustainable. They'd have probably fielded 16 players every week. Instead, we've got a farcical situation as we had last week, where we were all trying to work out what's going on between Billingshurst and Copthorne, which we know that Billingshurst were going to get the points, but you take that jeopardy wouldn't have been there if Copthorne had been allowed to go down Brighton, as they should have done.
2-0 Brighton.
2-0 Brighton.
Yeah, but I'll go into that because I know we won't mention the 20-0 score again. The lads did turn up with 9 players. Credit to those lads. No disrespect. Credit to those lads for turning up with 9 players, and they all had shin pads this time as well. Not like last time, okay. And they came out and they just got the job done. Obviously, in a strange way, but I do feel for them.
I think, unfortunately, but back to the subject of reprieves, I think Copthorne are the case study now in why they're not right. They're just not. Yeah, right. I mean, you look at last season, Westfield were ready.
Yeah,
I know, and this is a point out. Because I wasn't on the show at the time, but I remember Gaz and Trev, you saying about Hailsham, about Westfield potentially going up because they're ready for it, and Copthorne shouldn't be given a free hit ultimately, and it's not been a free hit because it's
have a playoff. I mean, up in that northwest, whatever league Widnes are in, if there's 2 feeders in, have a playoff between the 2. You would have known that Widnes can't stay up well in advance, so you've got this next 2-week window before the last games of the season are done with the playoffs and the semi-finals to get that playoff in there and get it done and sorted. But, we'll keep our eyes on that Littlehampton situation anyway. So there'll be plenty on our Twitter feed, no doubt, when they decide to sort out what it is. Right, into Southern Combination Premier Division, and results last Wednesday, as we mentioned, Haywards Heath Town won the Sussex FAR Charity Cup final, beating Worthing United by 3-0. On Saturday, Guernsey beat Lancing by 3-0. Pagan won 4-0 at Vauxhall United. Crawley Dungatwy beat AFC Vardinians 1-0. Haywards Heath Town went down 2-0 at Forest Row. Wick won by the same score at Forest Row. Lingfield beat Shoreham by 5-0. Midhurst and Eastbourne won again on a Saturday, beating Little Common 2-0. Horsham YM won 5-3 at New Haven. Top stuff. Peacehaven and Telscombe drew 2 each with Rothie, and Stenning Town won 2-0 at Seaford Town, which confirms Stenning Town as champions and an instant return to Step 4. This coming Saturday, in the Premier Division playoff semi-finals, Haywards Heath Town host Peacehaven and Telscombe, and Guernsey are at home to Horsham YM with a 1:30 p.m. kickoff. Then on Monday at 11 o'clock at Peacehaven and Telscombe in the Peter Bentley Cup final, Little Common are against Stenning Town. The playoff final will be next Saturday on the 9th. Oh no, I'm still on the same pad here. Right, Stenning. What?
No, they were just agreeing with your point about the reprieve.
Okay, superb. Excellent. Right, Stenning Town then champions by 6 points in the end. 3 defeats all season is no mean feat, is it, Mr. Statman?
I'll tell you what else. No, you're spot on. It isn't. They've only lost to 2 teams all season.
And one of those games they shouldn't have lost, that Guernsey game.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's not a mean feat. So in my stats stuff, I cover 6 leagues. I cover 128 teams. Stenning Town are the only ones who have scored in every league game.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No, it just dawned on me today, and I've checked every division. Yeah, they're the only ones. What an achievement that is. They don't quite have the most goals because Guernsey, when they're hot, they're hot. But, second best attack, third best defence, everything. When they were 15 points off at one point as well, early doors.
Hammy sent me this earlier as well. Second week of October, they were 15 points behind Haywards Heath Town and 17 goals behind.
Yeah, exactly that. And since then, though, they just, because I think obviously there was quite a lot of player turnover churn at Stenning. They were still getting used to one another. And there was just quite a lot of draws. I remember one particularly with Pagham, and I think you went to that, didn't you, Gaz, actually? Stenning Pagham?
Yeah, the home game, about 2 games in, yeah.
Yeah, and it was 2-2.
Yeah.
I think, and I remember you saying Stenning.
No, Harry Heath with about a 96th minute equaliser.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was a great goal, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Exactly that. But then they went 17 unbeaten. And before the game with Haywards Heath, they'd won 23 out of 26. That is serious momentum. So, yeah, you can't argue with that. Well played.
No,
Stenning.
I mean that they were relentless, and I famously backed Haywards Heath all the way. And I'm, very, very happy to be proved wrong. But when you look at the players in that team, when you look at the Fridge, Bridgman, he's on 35 goals. Dion Jarvis, 32 goals. Then you got Brewer on 18, Harry Heath on 14. They're everywhere. It's disgusting amount of goals in that team. It really is. So, full credit to them. They were like a train. They could probably play another 20 games in a row and not get beaten. They were on that kind of run. Winning breeds winning, and that mentality they had. And look, you've got to take your hat off to Hammy, to Hollis, to the committee, the chairman, the recruitment side. Everyone's sticking together because they had a bit of a rocky start. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they drew a lot, didn't they? Yeah.
And everyone, including myself, when Haywards Heath was 16, 17 on the bounce, said they're not getting near them. Yeah. I lost a bet on it. I lost a couple of £100 on it, mate. But I'm happy to pay that because, look, I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah, fantastic battle between the two. I did back Stenning from the start, literally because of their goal scoring prowess. And then when he went out and signed Joe Ben as well, which I knew was coming, I'm like, you're going to outscore everybody. Simple as that. And like as Chris said, it took a little time for them to gel. They did when they were drawing quite a few games as well, even though they're games in hand because of their slight FA Cup run. I was thinking maybe they're not going to get close to it, but once they went on that run, they got, and the quality of the players they brought in as well, people from Burgess Hill, and places like that are dropping down to play, 2 steps in that, which again, as Mike says a lot about the recruitment, the coaching staff persuading those players to drop in.
They took Jarvis from Little Hampton, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And he banged in 32 in 44 games. That has to be the best per game around the leagues. It really must be, because I know Bridgman's the Fridge scored more, but he played 6 games more than Jarvis. So 2 outstanding players.
2 outstanding teams, really. Heath of, although they although they fell away a little over the last few weeks, 2 outstanding groups of players they've got as well. Which now brings me on to the playoffs as well. Haywards Heath Town against Peacehaven and Telston, Guernsey against Horsham YM. Who's your winners?
Right. So there's been a lot of chatter today about this Guernsey kick-off time being moved half hour earlier to 1:30. Between you, me, and the hundreds of people listening, I know. I know that the boys wanted to fly out. The YM boys wanted to fly out on.
Yeah,
Friday.
I know. I've spoken to Charlesy this evening.
Yeah, and Guernsey wanted them to fly out on Saturday morning. There he is.
There he is.
So I don't give a shit. I'll just say I'll say it anyway. Even though he is in there. So look, it's a case of. I see where they're coming from. They're not making it easy. They're not making it easy for them to get out there on their thing, but they were in their rights to do that. There's a little thing in the FA agreements about 2:00 kickoffs and stuff like that. And was there flights available when they said no, and everyone else checked on Skyscanner and there was, so interesting there. But I think that will only give fuel to the fire for those YM lads, and it'd be a bit of a siege mentality. Remember what Mourinho used to do? It's everyone against us type thing. And to be fair, I've been over there. I've been over there for that game with the YM, and they won 3-2 on the day off, 3-1, 3-2, whatever it was. But I'll tell you one thing: Guernsey will bring 1,100, 1,200 to that game. YM will bring less than 50. Okay? That can be intimidating. That really can, because you look at Statman, I tell you, how good are they at home?
They are good. Well, they are good, but equally, I've got 2 things on that. Firstly, YM are really good away.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely are. But also, we saw with the playoffs last night, so Whiteleaf went to Jersey. They had even less time to prep, to get an away army going, because they had like 48 hours notice tops, and they snuck it on pens. And I'll tell you what, Jersey, I mean, it was on pens, it was another draw. Jersey haven't lost in 90 minutes since December, and Whiteleaf got it done, which surprised me. So these things, there was a few funny playoff results last night across the country, to be fair.
Yeah, we were seeing that, weren't we? Yeah.
Sorry, my cat. The cat's outside going ballistic. They're obviously not happy with what I'm saying about the playoffs. Well, I'm right. Shut up. So yeah, there's a lot of funny things. Playoffs can do funny things to you. We'll see what happens.
I've publicly backed them to go the way though. They're gonna have to do it the hard way. They are gonna have to.
Oh yeah.
You know what? There's a little sleeper in this, the Peacehaven. Quietly going about their business.
Eastbourne Counter last season.
Yeah, quietly going about their business.
We finished second when we got in the playoffs. Don't do us down.
They put a incredible run together, to put them in that place. Obviously, a couple of results since, but I couldn't call it. If you asked me to stick my last 50 quid on one of the teams,
yeah,
the bookies would say Haywards Heath, and then it'd say Guernsey, and then it'd say YM, and then it'd say Peacehaven. You know what happened? Peacehaven are going batter Haywards Heath at the HSE stadium over there away, and then probably beat Guernsey in the final or something. Do you know what I mean? You can't call it, but I'm stuck with those Wyham lads, and I'll go from there. Be interesting what happens to that club though, whether they go up or not next season, because I'm sure they'd have to match their manager's ambition. Just not feeling.
I've said all along who I think is going to win the playoffs. I'm going to stick with it.
And who's that?
Peacehaven.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sticking.
what are you two saying?
Heath.
You're saying Peacehaven?
No, Heath. Haywards Heath. I just fancy. Yeah, I just think like they've not lost that many games this season. Like they've been, they beat Stenning in that, in that really big game at the start of the month. Anyone who beats Haywards Heath's got to go to Hanbury Park. They've got to go to Hanbury Park and get something. Sound like Keegan on the 30th anniversary of his thing.
And you would love it.
But they are bloody strong at home. It's been their away form that's tripped them up, but that's not going to come into this at all. So, yeah, I'm sticking with Haywards Heath.
Yeah, look, I mean, the bookies will say that, and we got good friends there, and that big respect to their coaches. Kev, love Kev.
Oh, I thought you meant we had good friends at the bookies. I was like,
yeah, so did I.
Oh, they love me at the bookies. They love waving me off as well.
Here comes another easy answer
again.
through the door.
Bookies.
Yeah,
and Trevor, you going with?
I'm going to go the same as Chris with Heath because, again,
so none of us are back in Guernsey who have brilliant home form that. You know what they do? They will go and win now, probably, and they'll be shouting out. Yeah,
I'm not saying Guernsey because I saw them a few weeks ago, and they just looked a little. You can see why they concede goals. The goalkeeper is probably the weakest link in the squad.
You reckon?
Well, whether he was the normal one or not, I think they were quite.
I've been told that's the normal goalkeeper. The goalkeeper that was down at Midhurst, he was very gung ho. I just don't think. I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I
know over the last few weeks there's been a bit of chopping and changing around because they've had the Moretti Cup out there, the semis and stuff like that. And for people that don't know, that Moretti Cup is Jersey versus Guernsey. It's a bit like the Old Firm Derby and all that lot. And if you go there and you get like 4,000 people there, it's a proper one. We'll have to do that next year, lads.
Potentially, my God, my diary's filling up already with things to do, and we ain't even finished this season yet. But yeah, I'm going with Heath again because if anyone manages to get to Hanbury and beat them, fair play to them, then they deserve to go up. But again, it might depend on how patched up Heath are as well. I don't know if they picked up any more injuries at Eastbourne the other week as well. I know they've got a lot of walking wounded as well. But they're going to be two cracking games, and as we said, throw a blanket over all four of them.
When are they, Trev? Just for people that don't know at home.
What are the playoff games?
Yeah. So this
both
Saturday.
Both on Saturday, 2nd of May, and then the final on Saturday, the 9th.
Wow.
Chris?
Far be it from me to be the cheerleader for other Eastbourne teams, given the rivalry, but Eastbourne United deserve a shout. The reason I say that is, beating Heath, I'm not surprised that Heath lost there. They're bloody good at the Oval. Yeah. They've also got, and this surprised me, the best defence in the league. They conceded 37 in 38 games, less than a goal a game. Not many.
Eastbourne United have done that.
Yeah.
They've got to look at it and think, this is a season that could have been. You said, didn't you, Trev, as well? They'd put a run together. And they did. There'll be a couple of games that look back and think, because they only missed out by a couple of points, didn't they?
Yeah, three, but they're all different.
Three in the end.
But what I will say is 2 seasons running now where it's been a really slow start that's kind of tripped them up, and that's something they'll probably want to look at ahead of next season. How can these? Because the thing is as well, right early in the season they went to East Grinstead in the FA Cup. I think it was the FA Cup, and they absolutely slapped them 5-1.
So did everyone else in the league. So did everyone else.
Well, there is that, but there is a step up. That's the thing. And admittedly, Haywards Heath subsequently went to East Grinstead and gave him a bit of a slapping as well. But at that point, you're thinking, actually, they could be onto something here. But then they just never kicked on in the league. And that's kind of what's tripped them up, actually, at the last.
Absolutely. Right, let's move on to Southern Combination Division 1 and results on Saturday. AFC Eckford Town drew 2-2 with Loxwood. Dorking Wanderers being Mile Oak shared the same scoreline. Arundel won 4-1 at Jarvis Brook. Infinity drew 2 each at Oakwood. Reigate Priory beats Preston by a goal to nil. AFC Wall Counties won 3-1 at Ringmut AFC. Saltdean United lost 3-2 at home to Billingshurst. Selsey won and Copthorne lost. Worthing United and Godalming drew 3-3. Then on Tuesday evening in the Division 1 playoff semi-finals, Infinity won 2-0 at Reigate Priory and Billingshurst beat Worthing United by 2-0. So this coming Saturday, the Division 1 playoff final, Billingshurst host Infinity, while on Tuesday evening it's the Division 1 Cup final, AFC Wall Countians versus Oakwood at Dorking Wanderers FC. Now, we split the games between us last night, so we had a Desmond in total, and we'll start at Billingshurst and Worthing United, where Gaz and Mike were. Tell us about it, chaps.
Just quickly before we get into it, I just want to send our regards to Kieran Britland from Billingshurst and James Younger from Worthing United, who a clash of heads caused some.
That's the lad from Billingshurst.
About a 15-minute break.
And do you know what? He only got sore at 7 a.m. this morning at A&E.
Really?
Yeah. Both the lads got sore about 6, 7 a.m. A&E. And I'll tell you what, it was horrific.
Well, evidently. Good God.
They both managed to get up and walk off. But shout out to them for that. But yeah, I just want to send our regards to both of them because it was I didn't see it happen, but it was a good 15-minute break, which is why we finished so much later than you guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, we saw the lads being carried off. And look, football results aside, yeah? Right? It's your health and your family, you know? That looked severe, nasty. You saw them coming off, and they were clearly concussed. Massive gash. Credit to the physios on the day. Really, that really did themselves proud and that, and did the great first aid there. But not good from the hospitals having to wait. What was that? 12 hours? I don't know, about 9, 10 hours, you know, through the night in
7, 3, 10 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not have the politics in there, but that's not on.
We had that last year in the Division 1 playoffs, actually. I kept mentioning last night, didn't I, Trev, about the Godalming game last year, Godalming Infinity.
No.
And there was a severe injury in that, and that game didn't finish until some silly o'clock as well.
But obviously, me and the food guy were there last night, and there was loads of characters around. People like
Go on, who's there? Give us your names.
Oh, mate.
Drop them in.
Simo was there.
Yeah, was he? I didn't see Simo there. Was he there?
Yeah, Simo was there. Loz Edwards was there.
Yeah, Lowell was there. He had his nice stony on. It was like an orangey one and that, you know.
All the Whitlock were there. Whitlock were there.
Craig Stewart was there.
Baldwin. Who else was there? Joel Colbrand was there.
Yeah, he was. You tried to get him, didn't you? And he saw you running.
He smoked off at half time. And I sent him a message today. And I sent him a message today, and he ain't replied.
You're not big time. He's big time now. You're not.
Yeah, he's a National League player, mate. He's not interested in you.
You know, right. What is my assessment on the game? I thought Worthing United were disappointing. Right, I really did, and they were my tip to go up. I thought for the first 50, 60 minutes, everyone was cancelling each other out. No real chances in there, especially with the firepower Billingshurst have. You know, I expected more in the first. But Worthing United lost their captain, Lewis Snyder, in the warm-up. That was a bit of a loss. They didn't really have anything up front that was creating enough, you know. It was really left to Sherwood in the middle to try and do something. But I'm sure City and Cuswell will take that hard today because, you know, they expect more. And look, credit to Billingshurst. And by the way, Gaz, where did Billingshurst get that pitch from? Yeah, the pitch that looked like a carpet last night.
Yeah.
Absolute carpet.
It looks a bit hard, actually. It looks a bit hard.
I thought they'd done a great job.
Oh, yeah, it was good, but yeah, it was.
But,
played well.
but they made it count. They got a goal towards the end, and they're second. Deservedly so. On the balance of play, they deserve to win. 100%. Credit to the gaffers there. Really did. Now they got a tasty one now in the final.
They have. And Chris and I were at Reigate Priory versus Infinity, weren't we? On a bit of a dust bowl that almost stopped the planes taking off from Gatwick every time the ball bounced up.
Cool, Chris. What time did you get home? 4 a.m? That's miles.
But I work in East Grinstead, so when I heard the game was at Reigate, I was like, oh, holy, hello. So it was only like half hour from where I work. So yeah, I got home about 10:30. So
that was earlier than us.
The game probably hadn't finished by then, I don't think. So no, it was a good game. It was first half hour was very even, Stephen, but I think Infinity's class showed at the end. Harrison Cable with 2. One was
he's a player, isn't he? That Cable.
He is. I think he knew far more about the first than he did the second. But credit where it's due, it went in. No, Infinity have got some serious talent going forward.
Yeah, I spoke to Jody, who's he's watching now from Gran Canaria. He's on a cruise. One of their co-chairmen over there, and he was buzzing. He was buzzing this morning, and they sent me a picture of him in a suit looking like 007. So he felt a bit let down in their recent performances, with Infinity dropping off and that, and obviously getting that result there. But I feel gutted for Dale White. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't at the game, lads. Did they let him down?
No, I spoke to him this morning as well, and like Chris said, for half an hour they were in it. Then when Infinity scored, it just took the wind out of their sails. But he said they've been struggling for a striker for over the last few months, which is what's really cost them. They're good until they get to the final third, but to be fair, second half they didn't lay a glove on Infinity, did they? Till literally about stoppage time when they had the ball in the net, but it was a foul on the keeper, which actually injured the Infinity keeper. Infinity really played out the second half without really needing to do a lot, really. Young Max Allen down the left-hand wing was absolutely outstanding.
He's good, isn't he?
What he's doing at step 6, I have absolutely no clue.
They got links with bigger clubs over there, mate. And
I know, yeah.
They can draw a few people in if they need to.
He was sensational. He was sensational. The 7 as well. The big guy who was on our side in the second half. He was really useful as well.
Yeah.
They didn't find Cable at the bottom of a Kellogg's cornflakes packet. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I know where Cable's come from, and his pedigree's better than step 6 as well. And there's a few others out there that should be playing 5 or 6. But no, they were good value for their win. It's going to be a good final on Saturday.
Got to do it, Trev.
But the thing is,
I'd go Infinity. Obviously, I didn't watch Billingshurst last night, but they've just got the resources to be much higher up in that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Infinity. I think it'd be closer than what people think. In there,
very, yeah,
That key first goal will be there. But who's at home?
Billingshurst.
Okay. There was a hell of a lot of people there last night. Could that trip in? So it's a fair old trip to go as well. When's that on? When's that happening?
That's on Saturday.
It's nearer than Reigate for them, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, I must say, it was a tight first half, but the goal that broke the deadlock was class. Was it Allen? Was it Max Allen that set it up? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, cross from the left.
Brilliant. Yeah, exactly. He stood it up, and it was a deliberate. It was a deliberate thing. Most of the cross he did, he just stood up. And Cable's header, everyone else stood still, and you could hear the dugout shouting because they had the best angle, and it was just going in. But they seemed to shout about 2 seconds before the ball went in the net. It was just, it was quite surreal, but it was a great header.
I've got to tell you something, though, Chris. We've all been banned from watching Reigate Priory because none of us have seen a win this year. Gaz saw a loss against East Preston. I saw a loss against Arundel, and you and me saw a loss last night. So we're not invited anymore.
Good job, I am then.
No, that was a collective. You just got lumped in on it.
Oh, right. We're
We're
going
going to mention the elephant in the room in Div 1.
Yeah,
The
just a
management
second.
department.
Just a second. In just a second.
I-
I was going to say though, Mike, echo what Dale's done this year with no budget to finish second behind, Godalming. But again, a bit like the Premier Division playoffs, all 4 sides in there are. Cheers, Aaron.
He's done an incredible job, Aaron. You have. You really have, mate.
Yeah, knowing what he does as well. Yeah. And going back to the playoffs, so that all 4 sides in this division are as good as the 4 sides that are competing in that division to go up as well. Whichever one goes up, tremendous asset to the league they get into.
It was so close in that league. Like there was so many movements in the table as it went. Because I mean, Reigate got the job done pretty professionally, but Billingshurst scored him a 94th minute winner to go from. Yeah, shout out Mo.
This guy.
Great to meet you last night as well, Mo. So
Sir Mo got the key to got him in town. He has.
But yeah, Billingshurst only got they went up from 5th to 3rd in the 94th minute. Worthing United got an equaliser in the 94th minute as well. So there's a lot of movement. Only 2 points separated the 4 teams. So I don't want to say much of a muchness, like because it sounds like a negative, but they're all very strong sides.
Do you think? I saw. We all know Dale, right? We all know Dale. We've all met him personally. We've done work with him, and that. Do you think that must be a really tough one to take for him? Everything he's done to get him through up these leagues and everything like that, and stuff he does. That's a big burden on a man. That is, he works hard as well. I reckon he's really hurting today. Really, really, especially going from being out of the playoffs. Everyone wrote him off, me included, to finish runners up. Bear in mind, a couple of years ago, they were steps aside. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll take some time back and go reflect on the absolute great job him and Aaron and the rest of the lads have done.
Completely.
And I really, and I say the league is a better place if Dale White, isn't it? 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. As Chris said, good to catch up with Mo last night. Grant Hearn was also there as well, so had a good chat with Grant. Yeah, Grant was there. Yeah.
Love Grant. Come back, Grant. Come on, get back. Find a team, mate. Come on.
He's not terribly desperate. If something comes up, he'll consider it, but he's not terribly desperate at the moment. But yeah, good to catch up with both of them.
His silk slippers, isn't he?
Last night, silk slippers. As Gaz mentioned, the elephant in the room. Today before we come on air, Tommy Haddon and Ringmat AFC parting ways this afternoon. Give us your thoughts, guys.
Well, that's the worst kept secret in football, isn't it?
Wasn't it just?
Right. Okay. First and foremost, people that's out there that said that he asked for a budget and that for next season, that's bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Spoke to him, and we know that we spoke to Hart, everyone. That is not true. I think there was a problem with the fact that, and I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying it at all. I think there's definitely a problem at step 6 where you're going to charge players £195 to sign on, play with no budget, okay, and maybe have to share your training facilities with the 3rds and the 4ths. Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't ban me. You're my mate. Listen, so look, I think it's a case of Tommy, Hart, everyone took that club into step 6 football, and did an incredible job. And maybe it was the right time for both of them. The rumours have been around for well over a month. So, hey, I just think that the Ringmer boys, the Ringmer board now, have got a massive boots to fill. Who goes in there? I reckon I've got a couple of ideas of who goes in there. Yeah, in there.
My answer would be, who would want to go into a step 6 club where you've got to ask the players to pay to play football at Step 6 level.
I know of one person that's made contact today, and I won't jeopardize. I'll tell you after, right?
Well, that's fine.
And you'll be surprised.
But I imagine a lot of people that don't know the way they operate their club will think, actually looking at it, and I said this to Tommy this evening as well. Great facility,
beautiful.
You know, club's very stable. Had a really good season. And then they get told, but actually your players aren't going to get paid, or you've got no budget, but they need to pay us to play. You don't do that Step 6. You do that Step 8 and 9 and 10 and 16.
How's he going to attract the players to kick on again? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
right. Okay. When you got these all the clubs around there, and there's loads of clubs within those regions, that are fighting for players, and you got to tell them there's 200 quid. Okay, what do I get for that? You get beautiful facilities and that, you know, pretty same with what Coach Wyatt had, you know, that kind of model in there. Look, if Ringmer are doing it, because let's not forget, Ringmer were a club before that went bang with the financial problems, yeah?
Yeah.
If they're doing that to safeguard their future and things like that, then that's the right decision. Yeah, that's a sensible decision. Okay, you know, but while I look at it, it would take someone to go in there and to have the players sponsored and to kick on again. Those players have to be paid, whether it be privately or through another sponsorship or that, to kick on again. But it's going to be interesting.
From what I've heard, though, their model doesn't even allow for that. Any extra money in from anywhere. So this is where their problem's going to come. I mean,
they're going to be a Step 7 side again.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it on a no budget basis because Arundel have done it and Reigate Priory have done it. We've seen other clubs do it in the past, but you can't be getting players to pay to play, you know, at that level. Simple as you just can't. It's not. This is Step 6 football, not Step 16. But if that's the way their model wants to go, it's
a shame. So I reckon if Hutch was still around at that club, you know, who was a great support of that, I reckon he might have had a different view on that. And I know he watched the show, you know. But let's take nothing away from what they achieved there. It is an elephant in the room. Everyone sort of knew this was going to happen, you know. Allegedly, he told the lads before the meeting they had on Tuesday. Okay, with the board, so he knew it was happening. Where does Tommy and Hart go now?
Well, I mean, they leave Ringmer with their reputations enhanced. I don't think that's in any doubt at all. I think I wouldn't, if I was wanting to cut my teeth at managerial level, I wouldn't want to follow them too. Good God, that is
he
not.
He breathes it though, Tommy, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? You see his Mind of the Gaffer stuff. Great TikTok channel if you know that.
Yeah.
Gaffer.
Look, we know Tommy. Tommy's a lovely bloke. Said it before. I've met him a few times. I've got nothing but good words to say about him and John Hart, to be fair.
I hope you don't mind me mentioning this now, but I've had
I don't know what it is.
One of those two messaging. It's written into the Constitution. Yeah. It was Hart, by the way. I don't care. You know what I'm like. I just spill the beans. It was written into the Constitution that the club will not pay players or any expenses. It would have to go to an AGM vote.
Well,
which is changeable. Hey, there he is. There he is.
Hart for that. Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's followed US politics for any number.
Where are you going?
I don't know if anyone's followed US politics for a while, but the things with constitutions is they can be amended.
Well, mate, I followed Constitution Hill, and every time he jumped over something, fell at Cheltenham. I'll tell you.
Yeah, if we're talking about things you've backed all this season, let's.
That's why the bookies love you.
Yeah.
Well, I said to Tommy earlier when I spoke to him this evening, I said, don't rush into anything. I said, make sure the job's right for you. Make sure it's a good club you're going for. Don't just jump at the first opportunity, despite the fact that you want to get back in.
I recommend a 3-iron, Tommy.
You know.
I don't know where to.
But no, again, just to go back, yeah, the job, the job that.
Hello, Will.
Tommy and
how are you, Will?
Jonathan.
Will,
if you know how
what's
this
your view
works.
on the situation? I love Will. Will's brilliant.
I mean, if I wanted to talk to somebody on a delay, we'd get Dale back in on the pod. But but no, the job they've done at Ringmer to get them up from obviously from step 7, but also to establish them this season at step 6, it hasn't always been easy, and they've had a right tough set of circumstances at times. The job they've done is brilliant. They can hold their heads up high, and I'm sure they're not going to be short of offers in the next few.
I'm going to miss those Will Hugo and Tommy Haddam pre and post match interviews they do, because Will's brilliant. He does fantastic stuff there. He also does his cricket and Lewis stuff. So yeah, shout out Will. But interesting one though.
If it's too many words, Will, just drop me an email.
Yeah,
you know where it is.
No,
right, let's get into step 7 and Southern Combination Division 2 last week. AFC Brighton Rangers beat Rudgwick by 6-2. Brighton Electricity had a home walkover against Capel. Chester City B beat Ferry by 2-1. Rossington beat Alpha by the same score. Howsham Town won 3-1 at TD Shipley, which secured the second division championship for Town, and Upper Beeding beat Southwater by 2-1. On Monday evening, Howsham Town won 5-0 at Brighton Electricity. On Tuesday evening, Chester City B and TD Shipley drew 2 each, and Howsham Town had a away walkover against Capel. This coming Saturday, final fixtures: Chester City B at home to AFC Brighton Rangers, Rudgwick against Ferring, Russington at home to Southwater, and Upper Beeding against TD Shipley. Just before we move on to the others, Howsham Town, 1 league defeat in 28, just a bit of worthy champions in that division. In the Mid-Sussex Premier Division last week, Montgomery Cup semi-final, Holland Sports beat Holland United by 3-1. In the Premier Division, Westfield went down 1-0 at French Athletic. Cookfield Rangers beat Polegate Town by 3-0, and Rotherfield beat Reigate Prior Reserves by the same score. On Tuesday evening, Hollington United beat Shoreham Seconds by 6-0. This coming Saturday, it's Hollington United at home to Cookfield Rangers at 2:00 and Crowhurst at home to Holland Sports at 3:00. In the West Sussex Premier Division last Wednesday, Angmering went down 5-1 at AFC Fishbourne. TD Shipley Reserves won 4-0 at Holbrook Olympic, and Witching United won by the same score at Billingshurst Reserves. On Saturday, Witching United beat Horsham Crusaders by 5-4. Watersfield had a away walkover against Angmering. Billingshurst Reserves beat Petworth 3-1. Dale United had an away walkover against Holbrook Olympic, and TD Ship Reserves had a home walkover against Harting. On Monday, Billingshurst Reserves lost 5-1 to Horsham Crusaders. This evening, TD Ship Reserves have got an away walkover win against Billingshurst Reserves. Horsham Crusaders are at home to Wittering United on Saturday. AFC Fishbourne are at home to Billingshurst Reserves. Dale United go to Harting. Holbrook Olympic against Wittering United, and TD Shipley Reserves against Watersfield. Then on Wednesday evening, Centenary Cup final, Emsworth Town against Dale United at Arundel.
Oh, right. I met the Dale United manager the other night. He was an absolutely lovely guy. Yeah, lovely guy.
They could still win the league. It's either them or Watersfield are going to win that one.
Watersfield have a couple of players that played for me at Arundel as well.
Have they?
In the Breedon boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Few people on the beach already in step 7, and know those home walkovers, away walkovers.
Yeah,
all over the place.
It's piss take. It's piss take. You can't.
It is when it is again when it involves like titles and going for that, getting an easy win. But it's what it is. Right, the final team of the week for the season, sponsored by Singer's Roofing Specialists, and this week it's gone to Worthing. Obviously, Steyning were close, but Worthing's first time in the National League. Steyning have already been at step 4, so Worthing have edged it this week. So, congratulations to Hinch, Means, Joe Cook, Brad DeLargan, every other bugger that was in a Worthing shirt on the weekend. Right, Gaz.
Oh, is it me?
It's you.
Okay. My burger last night, right? I made the same mistake as I did at Wick. I didn't realise that there were 6-ounce burgers.
You should have seen it, mate.
Right. Was it half a cow?
Mate, they come on a forklift truck. Just dropped it there.
Gaz just opened his mouth and took the lot.
Yeah. I fucking ate every last mouthful of it as well.
Wow.
And then when Mike got out of the car after I dropped him off, the meat farts started coming out and the car stunk.
Yeah. And I just had a message from Low Edward, actually. He said, I held it together well last night. Because you know I'd had a couple of beers when you picked me up last night.
Had you?
I don't know.
I had no ear left by the time we got to Billingshurst.
Shout out on his Stoney.
Um,
sorry, that burger though was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like that, Trev.
Don't talk Trev about the food that was on offer. Because Trev hadn't had his dinner by the time we got to the club. He was absolutely ravenous by the end of it.
Macca's on the
Right.
way home. Go on, guys.
Let's go. Break
Go.
it down.
Go.
Supermarket bakery bun. It's a big plus, not an ELB. It's like, you go to Tesco and you get one of the bakery baps. One of them.
Okay.
Incredible news.
Incredible news. Incredible.
Right. 2 6-ounce patties. Right. I had over a pound of meat.
Pound of meat. You've been pounding that meat.
Yeah. And they were very, very similar burgers to Wick. They had the seasoning, little bit of like little bits of pepper and stuff in them. They were really good.
Nice.
This is where it lets it down a little bit. Okay.
Are you going to talk about that bacon?
Right. Cheese. So bear in mind, I had 12 ounces of meat. There was 1 slice of cheese. One more would have probably been a bit better. And the bacon been fried on the fucking radiator.
Yeah, it was still talking, isn't it, the old bacon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The cow wasn't, the bacon was.
Yeah.
The bacon's trying to have a conversation. Go on.
It's 1 slice of cheese and a bit of cooked bacon away from greatness. There's real quality here. The bun and patties are doing most of the heavy lifting, and you can see why it's high scoring. Proper size, proper season, proper effort. The margins matter at this end of the table, though.
You read this out last night.
And a bit more cheese, and you're looking at a genuine contender. 8.4 out of 10, which would be on a par with Wick at 9.4 out of 10, but I dropped a point because I only had 1 slice of cheese, and I had slightly medium rare bacon.
I don't think it was medium rare, from what you said.
The patty was something else, wasn't it?
It was great.
Not that I had any, but
so that
I was
sticks,
like that, licking my lips.
That sticks Billingshurst in at 4th place out of 17 burger reviews this year.
Who is top of the Bundesliga?
Stelling,
double champion.
9.5.
They're on for a treble.
They're greedy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Greedy Stelling.
If they can get the Peter Bentley over the line, it's a treble.
Stelling are at 9.5. Stelling 9.5. Wicker 9.4. Ringman 9.3. Billingshurst 8.4. Arundel Locks. Fucking hell, let me finish.
All right,
Arundel, Lockswood, and Midhurst all sitting on 8. Hagham 7.5. Newhaven 7.5. Haywards Heath 7.5. Peacehaven 6.5. Eastbourne Borough 6. Chai 5.
Oh, here we go.
East Preston 5. Worthing FC 4.5. Horsham YM 4. And Sussex FA 3.
We've tried so hard to rebuild the relationship with Sussex FA. You didn't even have to mess it. You didn't even have to clean it up.
If I'd done a remark, it'd probably be level with Horsham YM, but it's so close to the end of the season, there's no point. The only reason I did a remark on Lockswood was because I went there on the hop weekend.
Yeah, their Magpie Burger.
I had the Magpie Burger when I went a few weeks ago, but on the hop weekend it was a breakfast burger. It was a breakfast thing, so I gave them a remark based on that. Anyway, there's always next season.
There always is, but we'll put the table out, won't we? So everyone can see.
Yeah, I just got to figure out a way of ChatGPT fitting it all on one graphic. But here's the table.
Hang on, mate. You're literally talking to the guy who does fucking table graphics for a living.
Yeah, but I've got my own little vibe, haven't I? I'll find a way of doing it. I'll find a way of doing it. Yeah, I might get another game in before the end of the season.
Whoa! Shut the front door.
I
At the horse box.
Well, I wonder if they do a burger at the Amex.
No, they're like
I tell you what,
vegetarian
they do a hell of a pie.
They do shit burger mix.
Do they? Well, there you go.
That's
Oh, Sussex FA might not be bottom if it's that bad of a burger.
Mate.
I'm also potentially going to go to the Div 1 Cup final next week because there's someone at that game who has got me a present, which I need to collect.
Oh, Div 1 friend, present.
Fuck off.
Right, any shout outs?
Yeah, I've got a shout out.
Whoa. He's on one now.
A shout out to me. Setting up my own business, going live next week. AM_Coffee Co on Instagram. Go and hit me up.
I wasn't going to ask you to do that after we've been through the shout outs, actually, because I didn't know whether you mentioned it or not. But go on, plug it, give it.
No, we can do it in a minute. We'll do it
I think you should plug it.
No, do it now.
Because it is fantastic what you're doing, Gareth. And I know the quality of the beans from the coffee that you're bringing.
I have bought myself a horse box to do events and sell coffee at events. I'm going to collect it on Sunday, a nice little round trip to Telford on Bank Holiday Sunday. I'm going to collect it. AM Coffee Company. AM being you drink coffee in the morning, but also my son's called Archie. It's called Molly.
I love that.
Nice little
very good. My God, he's thinking outside the box. I like this.
What do you need from the people at home, Gareth, to help you
outside
out?
the horse box?
Get in contact. If you want me to come to your club on a Saturday for a game, whether it be pre-season or when the season starts, I'll come and do that. If you've got a football tournament over the summer, give me a shout. Can
I come with you, Gareth?
You can come. We'll do a live stream, mate.
I'd love that. I'd love that. Well, we did one at Worthing United, didn't we? I'd love that.
Yeah. I will make a nice little reel or a TikTok of me teaching Mike how to make a coffee using a machine.
I'm a big coffee lover, mate.
Yeah. Look, I just want. There is another lady, Georgia from the Sussex FA, who is a director who is doing events, and doing well in it. She's called it the Coffee Kit Collective. But look, this is me. I fell into coffee back in September. Absolutely fall in love with the whole industry. So much so, I got myself a 10 grand loan and decking myself up.
You took a gamble on your family's future, mate. I love that.
Yeah, and if you want to come and try the coffee, you'll find me 9th and 10th, 16th and 17th of May at West Wittering Beach.
You got a little gig down there. That's well busy down there.
Yeah, I know. Serving coffee down there.
For that stand.
Yeah, and then if you can't make it to there, 23rd of May, I should be at the Stork Festival in Storrington.
I'll be in Dubai, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Anyway, that's what I've booked in so far. Any football tournaments, give me a shout. Happy to get it booked in. And yeah, we can discuss terms and that when we get it booked in.
Please let me come with you. Let's do that. Let's do a day. Let's do a day. Let's be like the baristas. Do you know what I mean? Like
the naked baristas. No.
No one wants to see that.
No one wants to see that. No one
wants to see that. Not even our wives want to see that.
Especially not the live stream.
No.
And please don't hate on me. I am going to keep pushing it through the SNLF Instagram page. I've done some hard work to get that up to the followers that we've got there, and I'm just going to use it for my own benefit, basically. Yeah.
Excellent.
But just shout out in the last 3 months on Instagram, we've had 250,000 views. Finally, at 250,000.
Top work, mate.
Excellent work.
So.
And saying that, Trevor smashed the impressions on the SNLF Twitter. Millions.
Yeah, 2.4 million we're on.
Yeah,
well done. I'm catching you up for followers now, though. And I had like 18 months
On what?
On
On Grinder.
no, my the SNLF on Instagram is at just shy of 1,600 followers.
I'm at 1,900. You've got another 300 to go yet.
Yeah, but I was on 100 in January last year, so just give that some sort of thought.
No.
You were probably on 1,700 at that point.
No. You've had your moment in the sun.
Anyway.
Now turn your light out. Have you got any proper shout outs or not?
Well, shout out to the person that didn't claim the World Cup football that I gave away on the weekend.
Yeah. We'll do that shortly.
Yeah, I found out how to do it now. That's what I've been
trying to work out for the last 3 hours. That's why you've been quiet. Have you two got any?
Oh, what shout outs?
Yes.
Shout out to the two physios last night from the game. I don't know their names. Worthing United and the Billingshurst physios. They did an incredible job in what looked a very, really tough situation. And shout out to Worthing FC and the town of Worthing for what they achieved and for coming on the show tonight. Thank you, guys.
Chris?
No, nothing from me now. Apart from thank you to Reigate Priory for the hospitality last night.
Absolutely. But we're not welcome anymore.
Because nice while it
lasted. It's nice while it lasted. Yeah, absolutely. But I've got a few. AFC Walkoutonians, Tom Jones in the 100 Club, Reggie Ward at Burgess Hill in the 200 Club, Hamish Morrison at Burgess Hill in the 100, and AFC Vardinians, Omar Bookleb 200, Owen Benfield 150, Sam Rogers and Marley Big 100, and Saltdean's Aaron Windsor also in the 100 Club. Right, just before we move on to the last bits and pieces, our plans for the next few weeks or next few months. This is the penultimate podcast, so next week will be the final one. We do appreciate there's still one more playoff final to go after that, but we're not going to do a show for one game. Otherwise, we'd only be last for about 20 minutes. So next Wednesday will be the last one. Then to follow that, we'll do the 2 review shows as we did last year. So the National League South, Isthmian Prem, South East and South Central in one, and the Southern Combination in another. I'll do an Isthmian review show with John from the Kent Non-League podcast as well, just so I can crow over some of the ones that I got right and he got wrong. And we've also got plans this summer to do a few manager roundtables where we'll try and get as many managers as we can when they're not off enjoying their holidays as they should be, just to get a few pods out for you over the summer. But we're not going to be doing loads of them because we'd like a break as well.
I don't.
You don't what? Have a break?
No, I don't want a break.
Well, that's entirely.
Your cars do.
World Cup's coming.
Exactly. That's why I'm having a break.
Go on.
Anyway, moving on. Right, where are we heading to with the very sparse amount of games there are left? Who's going first?
Well, Saturday I won't be going anywhere because I have my cousin's 18th birthday, and she's invited me, and I cannot do that down because it comes, times like that is where family matters, and it'd be a right old laugh as well.
Okay, excellent.
I'm helping my wife's grandparents move house. They've lived in the same house for over 20 years.
And picking your coffee trailer up.
I'm picking my coffee trailer up, yeah. And then probably spending most of Monday cleaning it, sorting it, getting it ready for next weekend.
Okay. And then the Division 1 Cup final on Tuesday?
Division 1 Cup final on Tuesday, yeah.
Okay. Chris?
I've been mugged off massively. So Saturday I'm having to wait around in London while my wife and 2 kids go and watch Britain's Got Talent. And apparently I am required in the vicinity. I don't know why. But so I've been mugged off.
That's Saturday?
Yeah, somewhere around Hammersmith, I would imagine. So I've been mugged off massively, but to be fair, my wife's been very good all season about letting me go to random games, including last night. So, got to take one sometimes, haven't you?
Absolutely, you have. Absolutely, you have. Right. Well, Saturday I'm going to Hayward Heath against Peacehaven and Telscombe. Although I need
great
to work
game
out,
that one. Great
although
game.
I'll need to work out when Farnham's playoff final is because I need to be there instead. So that if that's on Saturday, then but I imagine that'll be Sunday. So I might have to try and swing another Sunday. Then Monday, going to the Peter Bentley final in the morning.
Who's in
that? Against Little Common Stenning. And then head into Rustall and Punjab in the afternoon for the Skeffel Premier Division final. So whichever one of the sides win there.
When are we off to Wembley? When we go to Wembley?
17th.
Do you know what? I'm terrible with my diary. I'm glad you are.
Chris, I've got one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, 3:15 kickoff, AFC Cubo versus Kings Park Rangers, Surrey Premier County League Premier Division.
Interesting. I shall bear that in mind. Oh, I'll tell you where I'm going on Monday, actually. I'm going to watch the film Ultras, which includes Raja Casablanca and Eastbourne Town. Fun fact. It is a bit out there, but Town are involved. It's on. It'd be remiss of me not to go.
Wow. Okay.
There we go. On that note, that's for us this evening. Don't forget.
No, it's not.
What do you mean it's not? Oh, no. Yeah, we need to do your draw for the ball, don't we?
Oh, go on. Yeah. Do your draw.
Come on, then.
I'm doing it.
I entered this as well.
I
want to win the ball.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. Oh, my God. Is it sharing?
No.
Trev, do you have to let it share?
I don't know.
No, done.
Hang on.
I can't believe. Yeah, food guy.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Go.
Have you pulled me out of the competition? I can't win.
You didn't share it, mate.
What? Who's this?
Ah.
Who's the winner? A happy Cornish lady. I don't know any happy Cornish lady.
No, just Gaz.
Shout out to the happy Cornish lady. You just want a big ball.
I think you should be happier, Cornish lady. Don't look too please, Gaz.
Someone's got to pay for the fucking postage to Cornwall. That's the problem.
Well,
it's still in England, mate.
Just go via Cornwall on your way on Sunday. I know it's a little bit.
Just put collection only.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Redraw. Do a redraw.
I'll tell you what. We send it with Worthing if they get Torquay next year.
Yeah,
and then
meet with Torquay.
And then Taylor will have to kick it down to Cornwall.
Yeah.
Hang on. Don't forget, we'll still have Truro coming round this neck of the woods now.
Oh, yeah, because they've got
Dom's mum's Truro. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. Shout out Dom's mum.
I don't recall any competition in the UK ever taking place where geographic restrictions apply and they apply to Cornwall. It's not like Guernsey, Jersey, Isle of Man sort of job.
Mate, it's different down there. I've been on a few holidays down there, and yes, they're a different breed.
It's nice. It's nice.
But they're very territorial.
Oh yes, very, very. Are we done?
Oh, fucking boring me now.
Everything.
I think we're done. Incredible
boring.
Numbers, well, incredible numbers tonight.
Yeah, really good numbers tonight for the penultimate one. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Reminder: if you haven't listened to the podcast, being Thursday, there'll be a couple of Worthing interviews in there as well that I recorded on Saturday after the game. So we'll chuck those in for you to have a listen to those as well. We're back again next Wednesday, final one, proper one of the season, with a few playoffs to talk about and bits and pieces. And who knows what else will happen in the world of Sussex football, even though the balls have stopped being kicked. Who knows?
Thanks, everyone.
See you all again next week.
Cheers all.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good